right, folks, fired up. We are back here on BEG Wrestling. Once again, it's a special week, night number 3, and we have 3 more after tonight for the weekly reveal rankings show for all the weight classes for the new Claw Professional Wrestling League. Tonight, Kevin, is 157 pounds. This is a big one.
Oh, yeah.
A weight that is might be able to the reserves might go around this weight if you think about it. But hey, folks, it's all for the draft, which is held July 21st, just here in a couple weeks, live from Harrah's Casino in Atlantic City. Also hosted the New Way Summer Nationals. Going to be streamed live here on BEG Wrestling as well as several other platforms. Folks, I'm going to run through the general managers once again here quickly, just so you fully understand. If you're new to the show, here are the 6 general managers, okay? Caden Henschel has the number 1 pick. Giorgio Poulos has the number 2 pick. Team Billy Baldwin and Scotty Sintes have the number 3 pick. Then the Team 1, there's 12 former NCAA wrestlers, have the number 4 pick. Number 5 pick, Anthony Robles, and number 6 pick, Angelo Ferrari. So tonight, Kevin, how you doing? We're going to be revealing your 157-pound rankings, man. How you doing?
Good. How about you, Zach?
Hey, good, man. Excited for this weight class reveal. Okay, there's some big dogs in this. You ready for this, man? You did a lot of research. We got a lot to talk about. So here it is, folks. Your 157-pound weight class free agent rankings for the draft here just in a couple weeks, July 21st. Number 1, Zane Rutherford. We've heard of him, all right. Of course you have the Penn State grad. Followed up, number 2, Ian Parker. Number 3, Jonathan Milner. Number 4, Max Murin. All right, we got a little Hawkeye in the action. Number 5, Tommy Askey. Number 6, Reese Humphrey. Number 7, Josh Heel. And closing out your top 8, Noah Castillo. Kevin, tell us a little bit about these.
Yeah, so Zane Rutherford, it doesn't get much bigger than that. World champion, arguably one of the best folk-style wrestlers ever. 5th his true freshman year. Followed that up with 3 undefeated seasons from his sophomore year on after he took a red shirt in between. 2-time Hodge winner. As I mentioned, he was a senior world champion, also a senior world finalist. Zane Rutherford is the cream of the crop here, and he's definitely going to be most likely the first pick. I would think.
Most likely the first pick, and if he's not the number 1 pound-for-pound wrestler, he's certainly in the running for that. But we have yet to see that. We'll see that in the future. But go ahead.
Yeah, then we got Ian Parker, senior national team member. He had a good college career, 4-time NCAA qualifier, but more impressively, he's one of the we got a few of these guys where they actually seem to peak after college, and he made a senior national team this year. He beat Bryson Donian, was 3rd in the pecking order behind PJ Duke and Yanni. So he is definitely a tough dude, and we look forward to seeing what he can do here with Claw. After him, we got, and it's kind of funny with these guys because there's a lot of these guys that have wrestled each other actually in the SoCon. You're looking at Milner, Askey when he was with App State, Josh Heil with Campbell, and then Noah Castillo with Chattanooga. These guys all wrestle each other a bunch, which is interesting. And Jonathan Milner, what a career he had. He had 130 career wins. He was a 4-time SoCon champion, 2-time NCAA All-American, and the one thing that was a shame is his senior year, he was 29-3, and he looked like he had a shot to place very high, but he got some infection, and he couldn't wrestle at NCAA's his senior year, which was a shame. But even without that, I mean, this guy had 100 wins in his last 3 years alone. Definitely a stud. And then Max Murin, this guy, his lowest finish at NCAA's was blood round, which he did 3 times, but he got a tough draw. He had his junior year, he had to wrestle Yanni in the quarterfinals, and then he ended up losing to Milner, who's ranked right above him, in the final closing seconds in the blood round. Sophomore year, he was in the quarterfinals. He's actually made the quarterfinals every year. Sophomore year, he's in the quarterfinals, and he loses in sudden victory. And then in the blood round, he loses in tiebreaker to Jaden Abbas. So that definitely. And then his freshman year, same thing. He makes it to the quarterfinals, loses to Nick Lee by a takedown, loses to Chad Red by a takedown. So he finally breaks through his senior year, wrestles 7 matches at NCAA's his senior year, has some really good wins. He beat Chance Lamer, Michael Blockus, and Jaden Abbas as well. He avenged that loss. But looking at Max Murin, his hit list, Zach, you're looking at a guy that has beaten Ridge Lovett twice. He's beaten Brock Hardy, Bo Bartlett. He's beaten Shane Van Ness all 3 times he's wrestled him.
Wow.
He's beaten Yaya Thomas 5 times. I can go on and on. He's got quite the hit list, Zach.
Yeah, I mean, he's knocked off some huge names there, and we'll get into matchups here, but I'll let you round out your brief summaries here.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy Askey, 2-time SoCon champ, 100 wins. He's a 2-time blood rounder, right? But, man, I'm shocked that he didn't place last year. He was right there. He actually lost to NCAA champion Antrell Taylor at the beginning of the year in sudden victory. He had a win over Teamer. He had 2 wins over Ethan Miller from Maryland. He actually gave Ethan Miller his first loss last year. Ethan Miller was at Big Tens, was the number 1 seed, undefeated. And then he beat him again at NCAA's. He majored Brandon Cannon from Ohio State. And he's beaten Cody Chittum the last 2 NCAAs, including a major decision over him one time. So, let's see here. Also beat Trevor Chumbley last year, who ended up taking 4th. So,
yeah,
he's a lot tougher than his resume.
He was, if things a point here or there, he would have been a AA'er last year easily.
Absolutely. And he himself was a SoCon champion as well 3 times. So, and then things get interesting. Reese Humphrey, how awesome is that?
Fascinating.
You're looking at an NCAA 2 and 3rd, 3-time senior world team member, and he's coaching, and I hear he's in great shape, and he is tough, man. I remember him giving Kyle Dake really tough battles. They met at NCAA's in the quarters. Kyle's closest match. He was the only one to take down Kyle, actually, at NCAA's for his freshman year. And, I'm curious to see where he's got the talent to be right up there with Parker, I think, right behind Zane. But we'll see what kind of shape he's in, because the reason we put like Askey in front of him is kind of because Askey's just coming off a college season, so it's hard to stick Humphrey in front of someone that's just coming off college season.
Humphrey, I got it, 38 years old.
Yeah. So that's, for people that are looking at this going, 3-time senior world team, why is he 6? Well, that's kind of why. But that, if he's in great shape,
who knows how intriguing matchups. Yeah,
absolutely. And then we got Josh Heil, who's another 3-time SoCon champ, another 100-win guy, 5-time NCAA qualifier. He's got wins in his career over Kyle Parco, Austin Gomez, Josh Edmond. So he has a ton of great wins over All-Americans. And then to round up the final 8 here, we got Noah Castillo from Chattanooga, another SoCon champ. And Noah's actually beat Jacori Tima at NCAA's this past year. He's the one that beat him first round before he ended up losing to Meyer in the second round. So, I mean, he's got a guy that beat Teamer, who's ranked 8th. So this weight class is absolutely loaded.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, you said it, man. It's loaded, and you could make the case Zane's going to go the number 1 pick. It might be the most top-heavy. By the way, funny comment by Larry Steele. Join the comments, folks, said they went to name their son after Zane, and they did, but the mom spelled it wrong, Zane, but they stuck with it. But, hey, let's talk about some matchups. Number 1 is Zane. I want to see – here are 3 of mine. I want to see Zane and Max Murin, right? The Penn State and the Hawkeye go at it. I mean, it felt like yesterday Zane was just in the Olympics. He had that huge gash on his head. That was like yesterday, it felt like, right? But then Murin, you said about the hit list some of these guys have. Murin, with maybe one of the most impressive, he's knocked off the likes of Van Ness. It wouldn't blow your mind to see him knock off Zane here? Wouldn't that be an upset to see the expected number 1 pick get knocked off by a Hawkeye? Oh my goodness! But okay,
that might blow my mind actually.
That might blow your mind. All right. But the next one I want to see Tommy Askey and Reese Humphrey. Okay, and the reason I want to see that, you mentioned it. Tommy Askey was right there, a point here or there. He's an AA this past season. Up against Reese Humphrey, a 38-year-old. The contrast, the age, you know what I mean? That intrigues me. And then finally, you mentioned Humphrey. Go ahead.
You there?
Yeah, go ahead.
Zach?
Hey, I don't know. Kevin,
Zach,
can you hear me? I think you
cut out.
Hey, I'll go into mine.
I can hear you now, but
yeah, I'll let you comment. I'll go to my last one here. Technical difficulties here. I want to see Reese Humphrey go up against Josh Heil. 2 coaches, Humphrey at Princeton, Heil at Campbell. 2 coaches going at it, right? One of them's going to win and be able to go back to all those kids and talk a little smack. And the one who doesn't win, that's going to be a tougher re-entry back into the wrestling room, right, Kevin? But, hey, there's my top 3, Kevin, matchups I'm looking forward to. But obviously there's a lot more. What are some you want to see?
Yeah, funny enough, I was looking through these, and a lot of the matchups have actually happened. Max Murin has wrestled Ian Parker twice, and they split. So, let's get the rubber match going between those two. They wrestled both times at the Cy-Hawk duel. Murin won 3-2, and Parker beat him 5-4. Ian Parker also wrestled Josh Heil. He beat him 3-1. Zane pinned Josh Heil. Max Murin beat Josh Heil. And a lot of this was kind of wild is in 2022, Milner, Heil, and Castillo were all in the SoCon tournament, all in the same weight class.
Wow.
And Milner ended up beating Heil, and Heil ended up beating Castillo in the semis. So I kind of want to see some different matchups. I would like to see Humphrey versus anybody.
Yeah.
I just want to see Humphrey, all right? I want to see how he does. And you know what? I want to see if Ian Parker's momentum carries over from him making the senior world team this year. Because I believe it will. I want to see if he's separated himself at all from the 3 through 8 behind him. Milner, I'm so glad to see he's back because he had that infection or whatnot and wasn't able to wrestle his senior year, but he's really athletic, and he actually wrestled Murin in a blood round. Murin's junior year, they were wrestling each other in the blood round. It was 3-1, really tight match. Milner was winning. He was in top position. He ended up getting a tilt on him in the final seconds to make it 8-1, but it was a really tight match. And but you know what? I think Askey Humphrey, I got to agree with you on that one. I'd love to see Askey and Humphrey go at it.
Yeah, no, and Kevin, listen, tomorrow night, folks, maybe we'll even have some more stats to throw up on the screen. Kevin had some. We'll include them in the graphics for after the show. But, hey, you mentioned, Milner, and he had an infection. He was recovering. I just want to mention, I just saw right before we started the show, speaking of recovery, Ben Askren just made a post. So he's on the road to recovery. Continue to pray for Ben. And, it's going to be a long recovery. Like I said, Kelly told me he's looking at probably a year of rehab and whatnot. But, hey, he's back to making posts and talking, so go check it out. But
that was rough to watch, but at the same time, he's alive. So, I just hope for him to be the best and get back to his sarcastic, self. And I'm sure he will. He's tough.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hey, folks, we got a question here from Austin. There's 6 teams, so do they pick backups or just one wrestler for each weight? Austin, 99.9% sure. You draft 6 wrestlers, and then you have 2 reserves, so 8 total. 48 total wrestlers drafted. Now, that's what I mean when I say, this might be a weight class that you get a reserve wrestler drafted out of each of these 6 GMs, because this is going to be, obviously they can bump up. You're going to need some fluctuation.
Yeah.
Right, Kevin?
And
they can't.
Yeah, there's going to be guys that don't even make the team, but they're going to go into a free agency pool. So if guys get injured or whatnot, the team can pick up out of the free agent pool. Tom was saying. So yeah, and like I just wanted to say, when going through the rankings, what was going on in my mind was, Zane won for obvious reasons. Ian Parker just made a senior world team. I know Milner and Mirren, I was going back and forth on until I saw Milner beat him, Mirren in the blood round. And then Askey over Humphrey just based on age. And, who knows? Maybe Castillo just coming off an NCAA season blows Humphrey away. Who knows? I don't know. It's hard to rank these, but we do the best we can and see where it goes. It's fun.
Yeah, and hey, folks, find out more, learn more about it, WrestleClaw.com. But there's 6 general managers. They got to manage these teams. So, but Tyler Perry, his rankings: Zane, Ian Parker, Max Murin, Josh Heil at 4, Milner at 5, Reese Humphrey 6, Tommy Askey, and Noah. That's interesting. I just wanted before we go. What's that?
John Milner's beaten Heil 3 out of 3 times. That's why we had him. John Milner's beaten Castillo 3 out of 3 times. John Milner's he's beat up on these guys in the bracket, the ones in the SoCon anyway.
Yep. And there's a comment from Larry. Larry, that's an all-time comment there. All-time.
That's awesome.
But, and hey, there's Claw. Each team will have 8 on the roster. So 1 reserve. If they need another guy during the season, they can claim off waivers. There you go. So, folks, that's it. What weight are we back with tomorrow night, Kevin? We're back tomorrow night, and it is
I believe 174. Is it or
one? Okay, just hang on, folks.
No, 170. Did he say
184 tomorrow?
184.
184 pounds
Combined.
Back tomorrow
184 is awesome. You're gonna want to see who's in there for sure.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night.
Keeps getting better and better. Check out WrestleClaw.com. Like and subscribe to BEG. And if you didn't get enough of us tonight, check us out tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Kevin.
Yep, thanks, man. Yeah.